Welcome back to The Grind for another Alliance War video. This first fight is against Mephisto, who is on a strike back lane. We are putting on a little bit of boosts just for some added safety, and then we're going to go into this fight with Red Hulk, who has essentially pseudo immunity to incinerate damage as well as poisons. But there's no poisons in this matchup. But our incinerate resistance is going to be based on how many of these charges we have, which we're going to build up either by taking damage, but ideally by using special ones, or by blocked hits, I think have a chance to give you one of those charges. And already from one special one, you can see we're off to a great start. And now he has his aura active, so we are going to take a little bit of damage while we're near him, but we're going to be resisting a bunch of it based on how many of these charges we've built up already. And once we get him to about 30%, we're going to want to stop attacking because our damage is not going to do anything while he's regenerating. So here we're backing off and letting him heal, and then we're going to go in again after. Now, I don't know how much demand there is for Alliance War videos, especially at below top tier levels, but I'm going to try my hand at doing them every now and then and see what the response is. So let me know what your thoughts are, if this is something you enjoy or would benefit from, but not a bad first fight. This is, I think, the first war that I've ever brought in Red Hulk. Now our next fight is against Mr. Negative, and I think this is the first time I've fought Mr. Negative in war. His nodes are Bubble Shield and Power Focus 1. So after 1 bar of power, he's going to start gaining power slowly. And we're bringing in Mole Man because Mole Man is fantastic. And every time you knock him down, he's going to put on an invert controls debuff on you. And the duration will be depending on how many energy he had at the time. With 1 parry and a heavy attack, it doesn't last that long, so it really didn't matter. And then we just held block to discourage him from throwing a heavy attack, or sorry, from discouraging him from throwing a special attack. And then with him attacking into our block, we had unstoppable buffs to counter. So it actually made that an extremely simple fight. Next, we're going up against a Kingpin here with Power Alternator. He's going to gain an unstoppable buff on heavy attacks, and he has steady build-up fury. So there's a little bit to play around in this fight, but it really isn't that challenging. And Kingpin is a fairly straightforward fight as well, as long as you stick to baiting out special ones. Now, I don't have the most ideal counter for this fight, but Dr. Doom is not bad because you can stagger him, and if he does throw off a special 2, then you can take care of that unstoppable buff or the unstoppable buff he gets from the heavy. But because of the node, he also gets an unstoppable passive, so it doesn't really come into play there. But what's nice is if he does get passive, you can throw special ones to keep him from 2 bars of power. You can counter his special 1 with a heavy attack to put on a stagger if you need to, and we're kind of just waiting for him to bait out this attack, but instead we push him to 2 bars and then throw the special 1 so that we can then just keep on attacking. And if you do go to parry him, you want to be very careful, but ideally you just want to keep pushing him over 1 bar of power and baiting it out. We are going to throw off a special 2 in this fight, and we're going to get some decent damage from it, but one of the things is obviously the incinerate damage. Because he shrugs them off, you can't guarantee on that damage. I think we get 1 to stick, which is nice still. So unfortunately, this is not the quickest fight because Dr. Doom is not the most ideal counter, but we still are able to work him down quite easily. It's a fairly safe and simple fight. It's just a little bit slow with a little extra baiting out of the attacks because it ends up being so long. Here we go, throwing off our special 2, get some nice damage. He does shrug off 1 of the incinerates, but luckily we get to keep 2 of them on there. So we do get that added damage, which is very nice to have. And back in just working on baiting out special 1s, we did get that shock to stick, so we were able to chain on a heavy attack with that passive stun. And again, baiting out special 1s, and that's pretty much this fight. Not a whole lot more to say about it, but we are going to watch this finish playing out, and then we push him over 2 bars, throw off our special 2 to finish off the fight, and we're moving on to the next fight, which is going to be our first fight in stage 2, which is an Iron Man Infinity War on Rage. Now, depending on the defender, there are certain champions you would not want to use or would prefer to use, and a lot of that depends on how hard you're going to hit and if you can deal with unblockable or buffs in general, because once you hit that damage cap 5 times and get 5 Furies on the opponent, they're going to be unblockable for the rest of the fight. Now, the reason I like Dr. Doom is actually twofold in this fight. One is for Rage in general, you can control the Furies with staggers and nullifying, so you don't have to worry about hitting the Rage cap and then getting Furies, because you can just remove them or prevent them. So you can still do the damage you want to do and not have to worry about it. Another nice thing is, even though Iron Man Infinity War goes unblockable at the end of the fight, Dr. Doom can be unblockable with his special attacks for a decent amount of time. So when you throw off your special 1, it's unblockable, and then you gain that aura that will keep all your special attacks unblockable for that duration. So you can throw off a special 1 and a special 2, and it'll all be unblockable. He won't be able to auto block it. So what we're going to do is we're going to work him down closer to 30% and throw off a special 3. But ideally, you want to do the Doom Cycle rotation following the special 3 before that chance to be unblockable. And so we're doing it here. We're throwing off our special 3 at about 50%. And after that, it's going to give us plenty of room to do our basic attacks into him without worrying about being auto-blocked. And we're still very nicely controlling all those Furies, so he's not going unblockable. Now we throw off our special 1 to get 2 bars of power, and unblockable special 2 thrown off, and the Incinerates just melt him down so quickly and finish off the remainder of his health. So a very quick, easy, and safe fight as well. Now the next fight we have on this path is Nightcrawler with Power Focus 2. So he's going to gain power up to 2 bars of power very quickly, and then after that he's going to start gaining power more slowly. We're taking in Mole Man, even though it's a class disadvantage, so he can deal with the evade, but also there's some added bonuses that he has. When he does have his frenzy up, he can hold block and let him attack in and get that unstoppable buff. Unfortunately, we went above 10 charges, and so we were evaded. So that wasn't ideal. So right now we're just sticking with attacking while he is stunned and building up some bleeds on him and some power. Now we're throwing off the special 2, which does some pretty nice damage. And after this, we're going to have the frenzy expire, and then we're just going to stick to our regular mode, not in frenzy, so that we can ignore the evade and not worry about him evading on us. And you still can use the way to hold block and let him attack into you, as long as you have a few of those monster mass, but not more than 5. And then the fight ended with that special 1, and we did take a little bit of damage. We messed up a little bit there, but thankfully we didn't die. We had plenty of health still left over. Now we are going to take one of these mini bosses. This time, because I already had Red Hulk, I volunteered for the Tigra fight, and I think this is the first time I'm actually taking this node, which is the hazard shift. So every 12 seconds, you're going to switch from having a chance to be inflicted with an incinerate or with a poison. We also have to deal with stun immunity, which is not too bad at all. And we're going to be taking in Red Hulk, which is nice against this Tigra because we have class advantage, and the blocked hits we are going to take in order to bait out heavy attacks are going to give us more of those charges to help boost our damage up more quickly. And so we're just going to be baiting out heavy attacks and special 1s to get our ins, and we don't have to worry about poison because it shrugs off right away, as well as the incinerates will be shrugged off right away, and that'll also be feeding in to our stacks. And we're at 10 now, and so we could probably go up to a special 3 or just consume them with special 2s, but we're going to stick with special 1s so that we can more frequently throw off a special attack and give her a little bit of power to be pushing her over 1 bar of power, so we can bait out special 1s and more frequently get ins that way. So very simple, baiting out the special 1. It's a quick dodge back once she jumps, pause for a second, and then again quick dash back once she lunges again, and cycling this with her in the corner. It was a very simple, quick, and easy fight, also very safe, ending the fight with 94%. So that's all we have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something, found it interesting. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope to see you in the next video.